Hey guys, it's Mathil here once again, and if for the past few hours for some reason you didn't exist, I will let you know right now, Diablo 4 was announced at BlizzCon. It's been a lot of speculation about it, that it might come out, might be announced, there were leaks, there was teasers, whatever, and yes, officially announced there will be a Diablo 4 in the future. We don't really know when that's going to happen. Now, first of all, if you haven't seen the trailer and you're watching this, probably stop, go watch the trailer to begin with, because it's well, not trailer, the cinematic rather. The cinematic is pretty damn insane. It's, as always, Blizzard delivers with cinematics for their games. We can all agree they are just crazy good, and this one is absolutely no exception. I can't even play any more for you. You have to go watch it yourself if you haven't, and I'm not going to talk over the top of it otherwise, but I loved it. Just, to give an opinion on this thing, I, as a grown-ass man, don't feel too many spooky chills or that sort of things these days anymore, especially from video games. Back when I was a kid playing the Diablo 1, Diablo 2, definitely had lots of scary, spooky vibes in lots of things. This cinematic actually did give me a bit of a scary sort of feeling when some of the things were happening, and I think it was just an absolutely amazing cinematic to release for this Diablo 4 concept game. And I just, couldn't sing enough praise about it. It was pretty well made. The first few minutes, nothing too special. I didn't really think it was anything great. But then once it starts to get rolling, it's just, oh yeah, give me more of that. I was actually kind of hoping they'd make like a Netflix series or a movie about Diablo, but who knows? Maybe still in the future. And this fully reaffirms that stuff would be amazing, and we need some of that at some point. But for now, Diablo 4. So the actual Diablo 4 fully announced, and they're giving it to us at some point. There's a gameplay trailer, which is exactly what I really needed to see to get any sort of excited about it, because you really need to be able to see if it's worth trying at all compared to what ended up happening with D3, where it was good, but it kind of went up and down, and it wasn't exactly what we were initially promised. And that is also why, after watching this, I have to still reserve some hype. I always will these days reserve hype for this type of game, this type of announcement, because you just never know anymore. When we were first given Diablo 3, it looked pretty damn cool. We had a lot of hype, and there was still a lot of fun to be had throughout the early game and throughout the first few weeks, even the first few months. But there was a lot of disappointment in it as well, a lot of stuff that I wasn't happy about, a lot of directions I didn't like where they went, and it means that I just cannot possibly be hyped until I'm actually trying things and until I have a release sort of timeline. And as far as I can tell, this is a few years away, potentially. I don't think it's going to be coming out in the next year, from the quotes they said, and I quote, "It's not soon, not even Blizzard soon," which to me indicates that, we're probably at least a year away from this even coming close to anything, and it seems like it was just really speed run into an announcement ever since they realized people weren't too happy with the Immortal announcement, and that they wanted a lot more from the Diablo world and franchise. So they're giving us what they've announced as 3 characters so far: Droid, Barbarian, and Sorceress as well. All 3 good things. I love the Sorceress personally in Diablo 2, probably my favorite. And so we know 3 classes so far. As far as I can tell, that means they probably haven't started work on the other classes yet. It means that it's going to be far away. If they were ready to show it to us, give us the classes, maybe they would. But they won't announce classes and they won't show you previews of them if they're not really ready to ship them in any way, shape, or form. And they clearly don't have much direction for how they're going to build those next few classes, or how completed they're going to be, or maybe even what they are yet. I imagine you'd think something like a Knight or a Paladin Crusader has to be in there, something like an Amazon, or a ranged character has to be in there, right? And then something like a Witch Doctor, Necro, something else has to be in there as well, right? So maybe another 3? I got no idea. So from here on out, I'm just going to be talking kind of bullshit, mostly my opinion on stuff, and some of the bits and pieces I've seen from other streams and Diablo, about the Diablo stuff from forums and all that sort of stuff. To begin with, there are lots of similarities with this one to Diablo 2. They're trying to go back to kind of the roots of the Diablo world, where there's going to be more of a skill tree involved, rune words, sort of just more of a Diablo 2 feel for grittiness and world environment, whatever. So it's not really going to be much of a D3 feel at all. And the thing that kind of strikes me about this is it looks like they're just basically, if D4 comes out, let's say in 2 years' time or some shit, and it becomes pretty good and everyone starts playing it and they're happy with it, it feels to me as though Diablo 3 is just going to be like pushed aside and erased from history. Because you'll look back, you still play Diablo 1 and 2, and you're like, yeah, those were cool games and they shaped history and they're something you can still go back and play. I don't think anyone's ever going to go back to Diablo 3 the way it is, and if Diablo 4 becomes more of a D2 style thing and just very, good, cool, gritty, it's just going to feel like Diablo 3 is completely forgotten about, and they're just going to be like, look, this never happened, no one's ever going to play it again, no one's ever going to look back on it, and it's just going to be, I don't know, a mistake maybe in the end is how this feels overall. So that's just one quick comment about that. But the big thing is that they said it's not soon, not even Blizzard soon. That means that it will probably be a few years away, and I can't really get hyped for that, personally. I need it to be like close, I need it to be on at least on a timeline. And the fact is there is going to be Path of Exile 3.9. We know that that's going to be relatively good, relatively large. And then plenty more Path of Exile. But then the 4.0 expansion is going to be supposedly colossal. And if it's anything like the last colossal one, it's going to keep us pretty well fed for a while. As a consumer of all this shit, it seems like it might end up being the best case scenario where we get 3.9 and then 4.0 for PoE and we get to play them as much as we want, and then Diablo 4 is going to come out. If it's good, we get to play that as well and enjoy it to our fullest, as opposed to competing between the two games and having to make a choice. So that is good. One thing though that I feel really has sort of watered this whole down for me, and maybe other people as well, is that this seems like more of a reactive than a proactive approach of announcing it, because they kind of really dropped the ball with last year's BlizzCon, where they just went, here's Diablo Immortal, you guys are gonna love it and all that, and then they went, oh wait, shit, fuck, you don't love it? What do you guys want? More Diablo 2 type stuff? Like gritty Diablo? Okay, we'll get right to it. Bam, 1 year later, here's your Diablo 4 announcement. And if you watch the crowd and the BlizzCon stream, man, people did not feel that excited or that hyped anywhere near a level of something I expect from a Diablo announcement in BlizzCon. It was like, yeah, woo, I guess Diablo, let's see where this goes. Whereas if they announced it last year and they were working on this and they just knew what we wanted and how we're going to react to a real Diablo title, and they announced it last year, I think it would have been insane hype and people would have just lost their shit. Instead, it seems, like I said, more of a reaction to our reaction rather than a proactive approach of, this is what you guys want and here it is, and then you would have just been very happy with what you saw today. But that said, it's a shame how that all went down. I think it still looks like it should potentially be a good game. Just I am really personally on the fence about this sort of stuff now, and I really want to take things with a very cautious approach, because I feel like I've been burned before too many times at this point, and I am not going to get, fully invested. I'm still going to allow myself to get excited and hyped. It looks really cool. The cinematic looks really cool, and I love the Diablo universe much more than I do the Path of Exile universe, even though I love the game. I just like Angels and Demons a lot more and the whole Diablo feel more, but I'm not going to allow myself to really jump through all kinds of hoops for the hype train, because I just don't think it's worth doing at the moment, and I think they have to prove to us that they deserve that sort of hype yet again. in the future when they release a really good title like a Diablo 4 potentially, and then you love it and then it becomes a great success. Right now I feel a little burned and a little betrayed by the previous title and the way things went with Diablo 3 and the way things turned out with Diablo Immortal announcement, that it's just I can't fully dive into it. The question I'm going to get asked a lot is, are you going to play Diablo 4, Mathil? I don't know. If it comes out in the next few years, who knows where I'll be, what I'm going to be doing. If it comes out and it looks promising enough, absolutely I'll play it. I'm not going to stick my head in the sand and shy away from it if it looks promising. If it doesn't look that good, man, maybe I'll give it a shot at some point. Maybe it'll be off stream. Maybe I'll wait for other people to tell me it's worth playing. But it's a Diablo game. I mean, I love me some Diablo. I always have. I'm just feeling a little wounded from past experiences recently that make me hesitate from fully diving into it immediately. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it comes out in the next few years. I need a lot more info personally these days for any sort of excitement for games, and especially the Blizzard sort of thing. But yeah, look, what else can I say? I'm excited for ExileCon and ExileCon 4.0 announcement. This has made me more excited for that. I was kind of going through the motions, but seeing this big Diablo 4 announcement makes me realize a big Path of Exile announcement is coming our way, and that's actually got me pretty hyped too. So I just wanted to make this video to give out an opinion or two about the Diablo 4 announcement and how I feel about it. If I managed to do that, cool. If I didn't, fuck. Maybe go to stream and harass me still. But yeah, that's my opinion on Diablo 4 announcement. I will probably play it if it goes well, but as always, I'm taking a very backseat stance of let's see, let's wait and see how things go. If things are good, great. If not, oh well, life will go on. But I'm very much reserved in my hype these days, just from past experiences, and I apologize for that if it rubs off on you or if you get less hyped because of it. So thank you very much for watching this little video. Yay, Diablo, and see you next time.